Hey YouTube, May's here, back again with another video. Welcome to our channel. Thank you for watching. Guys, we're talking about letting go. Heavy emotions, we know what they do to us. Are we gonna keep letting them? Number one, be honest with yourself about what you feel and how you feel. Okay? Don't run from it. Face it. Meaning, quiet the room, don't watch TV, don't look at your phone. If you get up every morning and there's something in you that's nagging, but you try to distract yourself with your YouTube videos or your Instagram, your Facebook, whatever it is. Heck, if you try to distract yourself with a glass of wine or whatever it is, put that away and face those so-called demons. They call them demons. Whatever is heavy. Allow yourself to cry. If you gotta punch a bag, do it. If you gotta talk to yourself, if you gotta talk to the universe, if you gotta start a YouTube channel, I'm just playing. No, but do that. Seriously, no. But yeah, face the way you feel, okay? Don't hold on to that stuff. Let it out. Let it out so you can move on. Let it out and then seek a new perspective. Find a new way to look at your life. Tell yourself a new story about who you are. Get rid of the old you. Get it out. Get that old you out of there. It's fighting. It's fighting. That old you is the biggest hater you're going to ever experience. More than any other human out here that can hate on you is that old you. It wants to stay. When we were diving into Shakti Gawain's book, I said her name wrong. It's Gawain, not Gawan. Shakti Gawain's book, Living in the Light. In chapter 6, she was talking about spirit and form. Okay, listen. Form wants to stay. Your spirit wants to come out. You balance the two, mesh the two together, because you need your form for this earthly realm. You need to make your way here, but you don't need to get wrapped up in form, okay? Let spirit guide form. Let the two intertwine with each other. Don't be ashamed of your negative emotions. Just deal with them so you can create new ones. Take that negative energy, that heavy energy, transform it. Use it. If you're going through a challenge, say to yourself, you know what? I won't know if I'm strong or not if I don't get through this. So let me prove to myself that I can do this. I know it's going to pass. And I'm going to look back and say, you know what? Dang, I did. And that's raising your vibration because now you feel accomplished. You achieved something. You got through a rough patch. You took yourself through an uncomfortable period in your life. And you survived it. You didn't go crazy. You didn't lose yourself. You didn't cause yourself to get into any trouble. You didn't get into fights with people. You didn't cut yourself. You just dealt with the emotions, changed a new story, gave yourself a new identity. Get in touch with spirit. Talk to spirit. Okay? Tell it you want something new. It's going to tell you what to do. Let's move on. Number 2, be honest with yourself about what you can do, all right? Be honest. What can you fix? We can't control everything, but the things we do have control over is what we need to deal with without further delay. If there's a serious decision you need to make in your life, but you're afraid, take steps toward it. Baby steps. We talk about that too here a lot. Don't force yourself in a physical sense. But begin up here, metaphysically, in your mind. Create yourself resolving this issue. Envision yourself as if you would anything else. People like to envision themselves driving away in their brand new favorite car. Envision yourself ironing out these issues in your world here. Okay, in your human experience. Envision yourself. Keep doing it. Eventually, form will catch up. Your old you will catch up. All right, you won't have to make yourself. Number 3, release that in which you have no control. So after you've dealt with everything you can control, whatever else you don't like that you really have nothing to do with, like other people, or if there's a living situation, if you honestly can't do anything, just don't. Live your life. Find ways to enjoy life, even when you don't enjoy it. You know, start with gratitude. Gratitude is the key. Okay? If everything in your world is crumbling, just be thankful you can breathe. Start with that. And meditate. Focus on your breathing only. And anything that comes in your mind, just let it come through. Don't give it any attention. Let it pass. Don't judge it. None of that. Because, you know, it's impossible to just sit there and just have a blank head. At least in my opinion. So, I mean, you know, things are going to go through your mind. But the difference is when you're meditating, you're not going to engage in it. Remember, you're separating yourself, your light self, your spirit, your inner being. You're separating it from this earthly plane, this earthly experience. This is your experience. It's not you. You are trying to navigate here. This is school. You are navigating this human experience, okay, in these physical bodies that you're in. So when you go into meditation, almost view your life as a movie, or like you're in virtual reality or something. You know how you put virtual reality goggles on? That's what you are, your spirit. This body you're in is your virtual reality goggles. And this is your virtual reality, whatever you're living. So when you go on meditation and you just let your mind you just focus on breathing only, you're gonna come to a place of steadiness, a place where you can confidently make decisions, worried or not. Consistently, of course. Keep meditating every day as much as possible. You know, as much time as you can find to do it. Your life will change. I promise you. I promise you. Meditation, look at my hands, y'all. Doggone shame. Anyway. Meditation, guys. Let's move on. Number 4. Never control others. Don't try to control other people. Okay? That's another thing. If you're going through something and you have a family member that you're living with and they don't support you in your process, what we tend to do is we try to get others to do what we want. Don't do that. Step back from them. You know, approach them with love. Talk to them with love. Treat them with love, even if they make you mad or if they dismay you of any sort. Okay? The more you do it, the closer you'll feel to source energy, your inner being. You'll feel it. You'll know you're there. You're doing something you don't normally do. When your people, your friends, family, whoever you're around all the time, and their energy is not in accordance with yours, the best thing you can do is to find a way to turn your perspective toward love. Accept them for who they are, no matter what, because they are who they are. They're not going to listen to you, probably. You know, they don't believe in what you believe in. They may or may not support you. I don't know. The point is, you cannot try to control others. And then on the flip side, you might have somebody you really care for, and you feel like their life is not going good, and you want to help, and you constantly telling them, try these vitamins. You know, eat these oranges instead of those potato chips or whatever, right? Stop doing that. You're going to run yourself crazy. Why? Because you care more than they do. The best thing you can do is work on you. If you're that kind of person that always wants to help others, the minute you feel the urge to help them, take the advice you was going to give them and fortify yourself with it. That's not being selfish. You know what that's doing? Leading by example. I'm going to tell you something. People listen to things. They listen to what's visible. Now, when they see that you are becoming closer and closer and closer to your greatest version, then they're going to want a piece of that. Then they're going to come to you. You won't have to keep begging them to please stop smoking. Please do this for yourself because I love you. Look, if you love them, the best thing you can do is love yourself. Okay? Love yourself. And then your transformation shines through. Then they're going to want a piece of that. They're going to want to be around you. They're going to want to know what you did. Then once they come to you, you can start advising them. But never try to control other people. And don't get frustrated with them. Okay? Turn that around. Find ways. If you got a script, if you have to give yourself affirmations, You want to cut those patterns out. Stop trying to make somebody better. Stop trying to make somebody like you, and stop trying to turn somebody's thoughts. You can't do that. The only thing you can control is yourself and your point of attraction. And I promise you, the more you work on yourself, the better they will get. It'll do one or two things. It's either going to attract them or repel them. Either way, you're headed toward your greatest good. Granted, it can be scary. No one wants to lose a friend. But you got to ask yourself. And oh, hold on. When I say friend, I'm including families too. You know, that includes everybody, whoever you love. Okay. The point is, yes, scary it is, but ask yourself, do I want to continue the way I am? This relationship feels toxic simply because we're in two different places. Our energies are clashing. You can love someone you clash with, you know. But love yourself by fortifying yourself. That's how you allow God, the universe, to work in your life for you. By simply taking care of you. Keep working toward being the best you that you can be. That's the only way you can help someone else anyway. You know what I mean? Can't give if you don't have nothing to give. Let's move on to number 5. Remain calm and be consistent. All right? Remain calm and be consistent. I want to read something to you. It's a psychology book from the other day. Remember when we talked about locus of control? Some people have an internal locus. Some people have an external. I'm going to get to that again in a minute, but I want to read attributions to you. Listen to this, y'all. In everyday life, people often add to the stress they feel by thinking negatively, worrying about how dreadful things are or might become. Since even a single worrying thought adds to our level of arousal, all thinking of this kind adds to the total arousal and stress which the person experiences. Sometimes people even develop ways of thinking which are totally self-defeating. Abrahamson Seligman. Abrahamson, Seligman, and Teasdale. I'm assuming those are clinical psychologists who did some research. 1985. Found that chronically depressed people often have what they call a depressive attributional style, which makes their depression much worse. Okay? Attributions are the reasons that we give for why things happen. Someone with a depressive attributional style will believe that anything which happens will only turn out for the worse, that it is always going to be that way, and that it can't be changed. These thoughts keep their depression going, partly by increasing the stress that they are under, and partly by making them feel that there isn't any point in trying to do anything anyways. In other words, they feel helpless and unable to control what happens in their life. So look, you can control you. That's how you control your life. Don't try to control outwardly. It won't happen for you. That's what's wrong with us having this human experience. Before we become awakened and try to remember who we are or were before we got here on this earthly plane, what we do is we try to constantly, I gotta hurry up and do this. I gotta hurry up and do that. I gotta fill out 50 job applications. I gotta make sure my mama ain't sick. You should do that, but they go about it wrong. Oh, I have to get a car. I have to be married by the time I'm 30. If I don't have a kid by the time I'm 45, I'm dead. I mean, just all kind of stuff, y'all. All kind of stuff in this human experience that we stress over. And what we fail to realize is all we got to do is be calm. Be calm and think about it first. You have to set your GPS up, guys. You can't do anything until you visualize and find ways to get a center so that all of these things you want to fix will come to you. It'll come to you. You don't have to go chasing it. That's the point. Law of attraction will work for you. You just got to work for yourself, okay? What else? Okay, now let me read something else under locus of control. It says there's a great deal of physiological research. No, not physiological, psychological research There's a great deal of psychological research which shows that having an internal locus of control is much healthier for human beings, both physically and mentally. Okay, let's see. Internal locus of control, again, let me remind you, that just means that you take responsibility for what is happening to you and you refuse to allow it. You always want to come up with a solution. Listen, even if you don't know what to do, on a mental level, you can envision yourself coming up with a solution. You can draw a solution to you. Act as if you have one. Just play with your feelings. Keep yourself calm and think about what you'd rather have. Okay? That is an internal locus of focus. Whether you are trying to externally handle problems or internally, the point is you're handling your problems. You're not externalizing it and saying, why does this happen to me? All these people take all the good jobs. There's no good men or women out here for me to date. You know, I don't have no money. It's the fault of the government. Things like that. Now, that's an external locus of control. Those are the people who are always depressed. Now, you can be depressed and have an internal locus of control. You can. Very much so. There are lots of depressed people, but they still have that fire inside. They depressed this all outdoors, but guess what? There's a fire in them that says, no, I'm sad today. I might be sad tomorrow, but I bet you next week I won't. Come heck or high water, I'm getting out of this. Let me get through these emotions so I can appreciate when I'm out of them. That's an internal locus of control. That's what you want, okay? Don't be the external locus of control. Those people go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into depression. Why? Because they'll never come up with a solution. At least if you're sad all the time and you make it a point to focus your attention on what you can do, even if you don't know what to do, you don't have to know. That's what the universe is for. You just focus on it coming and be patient and be calm, and it will iron itself out for you. I promise you. I am a living witness. I am a living testimony to manifestation and in terms of emotions. I've had emotions, okay? I know what happiness is. I know what depression is. I can tell you, okay? You can be depressed and still be determined. Don't have me make a song, y'all. Y'all know how I do. You can be depressed and still be never mind. Back to the book. Let's do this. So, long-term stress can lower the body's resistance to disease and make us vulnerable to illness. But people with an internal locus of control experience less stress. Even though their physical situation may be just as bad. Let me read that again. That didn't turn out right. Let me start that sentence over. Long-term stress can lower the body's resistance to disease and make us vulnerable to illness. But people with an internal locus of control experience less stress, even though their physical situation may be just as bad. Okay? So I just said that. You have two people that's depressed over something, okay? But the one person is going to fall deeper simply because they don't even accept that they can change anything. They just always talk about, it's going to get worse. I will never get better for me. My life sucks. Oh, God, what was me, right? But the other depressed, there go that middle finger. The other depressed person is saying, you know what? I'm going to get through this. I love myself. Let me move on, y'all. I'm getting dramatic. Okay, it says this is because they channel their energies into looking for positive things to do instead of just worrying. And because they are likely to gain at least a small success through trying so hard, they experience positive emotions such as a sense of achievement, which people who are more passive don't feel. All right? So look, if you feel a certain type of way and you don't want to, I literally mean don't worry about it. Literally don't worry. Just feel, okay? Feel your way through it so you can get that energy expelled and you can switch it up, but you can't hold it in. You only get worse. And remember to talk to yourself differently. If you do happen to be the person with that external locus of control, external locus of control, if you're the external type who blames everything else for your problems, you can get out of that with practice. You can do anything you want with repetition and practice. You don't have to stay that way. And don't be mad at yourself either. Don't beat yourself up if you are that person. Because it does say here that we aren't born with an internal locus of control. We're not born that way. Actually, we're born with the more of a capacity. We're born with the external. Okay? That's due to fight or flight, right? Our minds tend to focus upon the negative more so, okay? Is as a means of protection, okay? But the thing is, the reason that's harmful to us in this modern society, we're not out in the wild trying to, survive and get food and run from animals. But we're in a modern society where we're able to live in buildings and buy food from stores and stuff. So we don't have to necessarily, succumb to that. In fact, it makes things harder for us being in that state of mind of having a external locus of focus and always engaging in fight or flight. It's harmful in a modern society to be that way. But again, you train yourself to do and be anything you want. Always start with scripting. Scripting is key, in my opinion. I'm talking about one of the most powerful manifestation tools that I've used so far. Everything I wrote down has come to fruition. Well, not everything, because I have new things I'm creating. But so far, the things that I've created really came. They didn't come when I wanted them to, but they're here. And I'm still creating with scripting. And there's something about writing it down. It's so permanent and it's so done. It just gets done. Give it a test. Test the universe out. In fact, they want you to. Test it out. Are you skeptical? Are you afraid? Test it out. All you need is a mustard seed size, okay? But have a little faith, please. And then what I wanted to say to you is what? That's basically it as far as that. Oh, look at that. Look. It says having an internal locus of control isn't something we are born with. We can learn to change our thought habits and behavior so that we shift from an internal to an external locus of focus. Okay? Of control. I'm sorry. External locus of control. Oh, they wrote this wrong. This book is so crazy. We can learn to change our thought habits and behavior so that we can shift from an external to an internal locus of control. Yeah, that's what it should have said. This book has a lot of typos in it. I don't know why. I got this from the library. The psychology book is really old, so. But anyway, there are some errors in it, but I recognize what they meant to say. We can learn to change our thought habits and behaviors so that we can shift from external to internal, because we're not born with the ability to have an internal locus of control, okay? But we can get there. And once we do, the results are magical, all right? That's about it. I want to quote something and go, because, I love to quote. These quotes are powerful. In my opinion, quotes are like 5 years of experience in a few sentences if you are able to internalize them, take them serious, and live by them. That'll save you so much unnecessary pain. Sometimes letting things go is an act of far greater power than defending and hanging on. Said by Eckhart Tolle. All right, y'all. That's about it. That's all I got to share. I'll be back again with more. And as always, this has been fun. I can't wait to see you guys again. Until next time, bye for now.